So let's give away another raffle prize. We still have the first ever Everything is Bigger tank top, the would-be pie ink candle, the weird belt buckle, and the Stone Cold memoir. Alright. Steph with 3 exclamation points. Is that you? Alright, you got it hanging.
Oh, I can.
Yeah. Hey, one tip though, I didn't have a chance to wash it, so it's still freshly spray painted. So wash it in the sink first in like warm water. First time. Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, I should read a bio. Alright. Some folks will tell you it was Brady Cleveland and his family who first found the world's biggest oak leaf. But I'm here to set the record straight. Out for a stroll one day, our next reader, Trey Moody, found the 16-inch long and 11-inch wide leaf. So enthralled, he forgot the leaf, raced home and wrote his debut poetry collection, Thought That Nature, out now and available back there from Malvern Books. So straight out of San Marcos, let's welcome Trey Moody.
Yeah, that was a righteous oak leaf. That was really good. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. I really appreciate you being here. Okay. So I'm going to start reading a couple poems from my book that just came out. I've also got some chapbooks back there that are free called Ones for the Weather, so you can just pick them up afterwards if you want. So I'll read 2 poems from this book that was just published in January. So tomorrow's the first day of spring, which is great. I have yet to make a New Year's resolution, which is not so great. So I don't know about you, but I'm just really lazy about that kind of thing. So here's a poem kind of in that spirit. Same day resolution. Since the time spring has been here, I've allowed myself 2 things. Clouds filled with weather and skies filled with clouds. As each offers a separate perspective, my brain's consoled only on both sides. The train that passes through town barely stops. But because of it, money is money and time, time. Funny, the way decision dictates so much. I'm hungry, generally, consistently, at 3:15. Though my stomach's filled so slow, I often forget when I've forgotten to eat. So, speaking of food, I sort of have a weird preference, some might call it an obsession with spoons, as opposed to other utensils. Does anyone really love spoons like me? Oh, awesome. Great. Those poems for you. Both of you. We use spoons mostly. What this says about a human, as opposed to, say, another beast, has everything to do with electricity and warmth. Through the window to the backyard, the river crystal clear like glass. Like glass? Is it human to be redundant and to overstate the obvious? The river, crystal clear, between the floorboards, under my feet and under your feet, and the way we stand may or may not alter its course. When was our last rain? Wasn't it Saturday, I'm pretty sure? What memory performs as opposed to, say, the sounds outside this window? There are birds and there are cicadas. There are cicadas and there are birds and even crickets. Hello. This moment has just recently passed. We close our eyes more often than we think. Let me just say, again and very quickly, one last time, hello. Okay, so 11 days ago, I had never ever read my poems in front of any family or close friends. which I thought would be the most terrifying thing to do in the world. 10 days ago, I read my poems in front of my mom, my grandmother, one of my aunts, and my best friend from high school. And it wasn't so bad. It was actually kind of fun. Well, tonight, one of my other aunts, my cousin, and my sister-in-law are here. And so, I'm equally sweating. Probably more so, because I have to go through it again. So, hi, thanks for being here. So, I'll read some new poems now. I don't know, they feel a little different than Thought That Nature poems. This first one is called Apology. I'm so very sorry, King Henry IV of France, but apparently you stunk. Much worse than those surrounding you stunk. So your wife brewed special perfumes to tame your pre-industrial stink. So I'm sorry, but I'm sorry only because of running water and indoor plumbing. So I should tell you, last night my body lay as though sleeping in a bath full of bubbles, 3 candles, a boring book, the silence that was there before the drop of faucet water fell, and made the silence afterward full of noise. Guess what? The book was about dust, which of course our bodies continually produce and will become again. Perhaps the most difficult thought to think. And there I sat, submerged, cleaning myself, a fool, while the candles smelled so real I could barely believe them. All right. How about love poems? It's past Valentine's Day, but you guys are you still into love poems? Yeah. I was hoping you'd say that. I don't really write love poems, but this is probably as close as it gets, or has gotten. A perfect machine. Alone, in the dark, I wanted nothing more than to talk with an actual person, full of problems similar to, though not exactly like mine. A recorded voice provided several options, while the hotel's TV blared German images against an eggplant wall. It was all I could do to choose a number. Among others, the cathedral in Cologne made me cry. This is something I might have said to you, since you are an actual person, not a perfect machine. Or I might have said that once, too late for a train, we ate croissants with the tiniest chocolate hidden inside them, and the loud people walked all around us for hours, saying nothing and saying everything at the same time. So just this past September, I'm from San Antonio, and this past September I moved back to Texas, to San Marcos. I've been living in Nebraska with my wife and daughter for 4 years, so we're glad to be back, definitely. But I figured I would read you guys a poem that kind of charts like one of my daily routes I would drive every day. The way to work. A billboard asks me if I can name 5 types of apples. I'm listening to classical radio. Suddenly, I'm driving past the graveyard and realize I can name only 2, red and green. So naturally, I wonder what exactly is wrong with me. The DJ says there have been explosions at the Boston Marathon. That's it. The graveyard is now gone, too far behind me. Stores are trying to sell office supplies, but they are fooling no one. Now back to the music, the sun all around. In ways I cannot touch and in very gradual increments, somehow brightening the day. All right, apologize for my water break. Ask my students to drink water constantly. It's partly never staying, partly necessary.
Do you want to be on TV too?
Oh no, I'm not signing any permission form for that. So, not too long ago, I bought a pair of new running shoes, which I've purchased from eBay, which I'd never done before. So I was like a little nervous. This day didn't begin when I got done. But I was very excited for them. And that's where this comes from. Extravagance. I have been waiting. I have been waiting all day long. A pair of running shoes rests inside a small box cushioned inside a larger box taped and staying very still inside a truck. And a man wearing monotone shorts and sneakers is driving. And as you may have guessed by now, he is listening to a classic rock station because his employer allows such extravagance. As for me, I am listening to nothing other than my own mind's expectation of the engine to soon vibrate these clean dishes, which is not entirely true. You see, I am actually listening to the soft silence stuffed into each room of this wooden house. Of course, the air conditioner clicks on and then clicks off. And at some strange moment I never can predict, it simply clicks on again. Okay. So I have 2 more poems for you all. Writing poems back here in Texas has been a little bit hard in that I don't really like the ones I'm writing, but I thought I'd share one with you tonight that's fairly recent. I guess it's from a few months back, but it's called Memory. Honestly, how utterly annoying to open the novel where I stopped last night and not know on which page to begin because of that dreaded double-sided bookmark. Such problems of leisure make me wonder what my life has come to. For example, at the moment, tree limbs scratch around the house in the wind, cold for the first time this autumn. Believe me, it is a struggle, just knowing where to go next. But this pencil writes on, aware of that which I am not. And how quiet the empty house. Fruit is dying despite our best efforts, the refrigerators and mine. What energy and what patience. Weeks ago, the repairman said he could see no problems, said everything should be working fine. But we, too, were dying slowly and still are. And I have been trying very hard to trust his words, because I cannot trust mine, because I fear there will soon be no difference between them. So my wife and I have a really amazing 2-year-old daughter, and like about a year ago, I guess, we bought one of these sound machines, the electronic sound machines that you can, play like rain and stuff to get them to sleep. And on the package, there was this really clever marketing language, I thought. It said, create your own sound story, and it's like really exciting font. So I thought that was just super cheesy. And usually I can't write poems like up by Nike like that, but that's kind of how this one came about. My sound story. And thanks again for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. My sound story. Listen closely. Here is my sound story. It begins like most things do, with waves and rain and thunder. Do you feel you know me yet? Is there a connection? What if I told you that crickets are not too far behind? In autumn, all of this matters, how that morning egg resembles any other morning egg. So I hope you are listening. Do you hear the butter crackling? Do you hear that utensil scratch the cast iron? These are important parts of my sound story, as are those birds, outside but near enough to hear. I imagine them singing for each other, flying from branch to branch, which I realize is the plot of many cartoons. So I pick up the skillet slowly, since it is heavy, and I slide the egg onto a plate and wait as we all are waiting now, for you to salt and pepper and eat it, because eating an egg is silent. And to believe this, like most things, we must see for ourselves. Okay, thanks again.